Aww. Verostizzle and the Forbidden Eyeball. Verostizzle Goblocken, or Vero for short, was a goblin cleric of the goddess Calistria, a goddess best known for vengeance, prostitutes, and whips, though not necessarily in that order. Yeah. Needless to say, he was a cleric of questionable intentions. The rogue of the party even commenting on one occasion that, "I think we hired the wrong kind of cleric." Yes, the rogue. So the story goes that the party was sent to find a group of deserted town's guardsmen, in the hopes of finding information on their ringleader. Upon finding the group and apprehending them, Verostizzle began the task of interrogating the men. An otherwise patient goblin, things were going rather slowly until one of the guards made a comment of Vero's race. Said comment inciting the young goblin to pluck the man's eye from his skull, before popping it into his mouth for a quick snack, thus proving once and for all that such comments about goblins were unfounded and slanderous. This had the desired effect, of course, meaning the remaining unnamed guardsmen then spilled the information they were looking for. Mission accomplished. All was well in the world. Or not. Those of you hip with the rules, regulations, and moral responsibilities a player must be aware of when playing Pathfinder may have just noticed that Vero has made a serious error in judgment. The guard captain, whom had sent him to fulfill this task, approached the rest of the party a day later with allegations that Vero had committed an act of cannibalism. Cannibalism, you may be asking yourself, but Vero is a goblin and ate the eye of a human. Hardly cannibalism. Well, dear friends, you may share the same indignation that Vero, that Vero did when he heard the news of his impending incarceration. Two of the parties, definitely not traitorous goody-two-shoes, agreed to arrest Vero for his crimes, while the party's sorcerer ran to warn his goblin ally of his impending incarceration. A trickery cleric, Vero easily evaded the turncoat party members with a subtle use of invisibility, and spent the next few days hiding in the slums. Eventually, though, he did come up with the bright idea to sneak into the castle and ask the recently widowed, under not at all suspicious circumstances, queen for a pardon. Unfortunately, the castle guards immediately killed him when he tried. The end. Except that's not what happened at all. By either a feat of unrivaled stealth or a show of complete ineptitude of the castle guard, Vero made his way all the way to the queen's very bedchambers, undetected, finding the queen having a bath with her guard captain. Yeah, I know. Why doesn't everyone play Pathfinder? Long story short, Vero was nearly immediately killed by the guard captain, an arguably good way to go for a cleric of Calistria, only to be allowed time to speak by the queen herself, thus offering his services to the queen as her eyes and ears in the city in exchange for a pardon. Seeing that Vero had literally snuck into the most fortified place in the city, the queen offered him his pardon on the stipulation that she get to enjoy the company of the sacred prostitutes of Calistria. Ah, Pathfinder. There was also the contract that Vero had to sign with his own blood, of course. What do you mean? Of course he signed it. And that's the story of how one of my characters ended up secretly reporting all of the group's movements to one of the story's main antagonists. No big deal, right?